Hey guys, welcome back to CFMOTOsiderider, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm checking my brakes and my rotors and everything on my side-by-side, my ZForce, because normally what happens is if you're in mud a lot, mud will get caked in on your rotors. If you got the holes on your rotors, the mud will get caked in on there. Plug those holes. Mud will get down in here inside your caliper. And what happens is wears out your brakes. It's grit, right? And it'll score your rotor here. And this is the only rotor I see that's got some slight scoring going on. It's not bad, but as you can see, like there's weeds and where are we here? Weeds and grass stuck in here. So I'm going to show you how to clean your brakes, clean your brake pads, just quick service, and it'll save you a lot of money down the road, because if you got to buy rotors, brake pads, or if you seize up your caliper, the piston, there's a piston inside here, it's going to cost you a lot of money. This way I'm going to show you what you can do periodically to prolong your life of all these parts and save you money. But right now I'm going to go hide in my garage because it's starting to pour. So my luck, I want to do a video and show you what I do to clean my brakes up and prolong the life of my brakes, and it starts to pour. So this is just a quick break, and I'll go right back to the job and get it done. You can see my old Suzuki Eiger sitting there getting wet. I had to go do some lawn maintenance up the driveway a bit, so that's why I was driving that. I still use it quite a bit, but when I really want to go have fun on the trails, of course I got to take my ZForce. Okay guys, so what I did was I jacked up the front end with my floor jack. I probably should put a jack stand under here, but I didn't. Don't do as I do. Do as what you want to do. I put a tire chock behind the back wheel so it doesn't roll backwards. And that's just a little bit of safety, and I threw the tire under there just in case it fell down, but it won't fall. It won't fall. But like I said, don't do as I do. Do what you want to do to be safe. My ZForce is nice and clean, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the power washer and clean out around the brakes and everywhere here just one more time, and just make sure everything's cleaned up. You could even use a water hose. Alright, so again what I did was I took the power washer, cleaned up all the brake area as much as I could. Anything I can see, any mud. This is basically if you're in mud a lot. So you want to clean it all up again with the power washer, this area. Then you want to take your caliper apart. So you're going to be undoing this bolt here and this bolt here. So you're going to loosen that with a 14mm socket on your ZForce. So we're going to back out these retaining bolts all the way. We don't really have to take them all the way, but we will. This one here is being a little stubborn. Either way, we'll get that in a second, but we're going to take our caliper off and we'll just park it right here. You would see mud all over here while I was washing it off. So now that we got our caliper off, you can see this grass in here. It's all stuck in here, which ain't a big deal. And we'll check these out. See, these are moving good. See how these move in and out? You want these to move nice and free. So here's our brake pads, and we can just slide them out of here, out of the slots, and we can check them out. Now look at that there. We got mud in here, mud and brake dust, I guess. And brake pads are still good, really good. Pull this side out. Look at the dirt in here. Look at the dirt in here. There's all kinds of dirt in this slot here between these pads. And we're going to take them in the house and we're going to wash them there. And I'm going to take a little look around in here. There is some mud, a little bit of mud here. And there's some mud here. So I'll clean this all out again with the power washer. And I'm going to go clean the brake pads. I'll show you that, and then we'll put everything back together. So guys, here I am in the laundry tub just washing my brake pads. Get all the mud off them and the mud in between these grooves here. It's basically all I needed to do, really. These weren't too bad. Like I say, if you're in the mud a lot, your brake pads are going to be full of mud. They're hard to get to. They get all the cleaning all the water into these places when it's on your machine. It's a bit of work to do all 4 of them, of course, but you know, if you want to save the life of your parts and your rotors and all that, and your calipers, and save you money, it doesn't hurt to get into this once in a while. Look at that goop coming out of there. It's all gritty. That gets in your brake pads, between your brake pads and your rotors. It just eats everything up. Okay guys, you saw me clean all this out, right? Look at this. Look at that. There's still weeds and mud coming out of here everywhere. It's insane how much this stuff gets into all your brakes and your parts, your caliper around the edges, like where the piston is and everything. I think I got most of it all out now. It's pretty good. So it just goes to show you, you know, just before I went into the next step, I saw a little bit of grass here hanging. That's why I don't run a lot of mud. One of the reasons, I'm not a big, I hate to clean it all the time. When you get into mud and it's a very deep clean, it's a lot of work. And plus what it does to all your parts and everything, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, but you will never see me go deep mudding. So that's just the way it is for me. So anyways, here's your piston. And your piston, let's say you're putting on new brake pads. You're going to need to push this piston back a bit. This piston is hardly out at all. But this goes in and out, and inside here is a rubber O-ring. Grit will get down in here as well. Sand and grit. So when you're pushing it in, like, you don't just want to push it in and leave it alone. You want to get in here and clean this all out too. You can squirt some water in here, or you can spray some brake cleaner in here. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to get in there. And we're just going to let all that brake cleaner wash all the grit and dirt in there. I don't think there's too much in there. And just shake it off. Then we're going to grab a pair of pliers. Now, I might be able to get my brake pads in here without pushing this back, but I'm going to show you anyway, because say you're putting on new brake pads, you're doing a brake job on your machine, you're going to have to press that piston back anyway, so you can fit everything in there. So we're just going to grab our pliers, and we're just going to push that back a bit. See the piston go in? You probably can't see, but that piston went all the way in there. And I didn't see any crap coming out, which is good. So there, that's all good now. Our piston's back. Now we can put our brake pads back on. So as you can see, I got lots of brake pad left. My rotors are good, but they looked a little scored, you know, nothing bad. Like, that's normal wear and tear. But you can tell some dirt and grime has been in here and gotten to it. So I'm going to put my caliper back up here like this. It's ready to go back together. We're going to put our brake pads back on with the brake pad on the rotor. Make sure you don't put them like backwards. And we're going to put these right back in the slots here. There we go. Got that one side done. Now we'll do this side. There we got that all back together. Like I said, these are freed up and loose. They're moving nice. These seize up, it's no good. So now we're going to put our caliper back on. We're just going to fit it over here just like the way it was. And these here have to line up. Like I'll take this off here. You can see this has, like, it's slotted on one side. This, I guess you call it like a nut washer. So it has to go in here, fit inside this here, this part of the caliper where it mounts on. So we'll just slip that over there like that. Beautiful. So I got both bolts in place, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten them up. Okay, we have the brake caliper back on. Everything's in there. Our brake pads, everything looks good. So remember, we pushed that piston back. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around to the brake pedal. We're going to step on it a couple times, bring that piston back out towards the pads, because if you don't do that, you're just going to jump in, take off. You're not going to have the proper brakes that you want. So okay guys, that's basically how you do this, and it's really going to help save you money and a pain in the neck of getting your brakes serviced by the dealership and just all that headache. So just every once in a while, just do this, especially if you're in deep mud all the time, and it should help you out quite a bit. I'm going to go around and do the other ones, and because you know me, I like to work in the rain. And if you thought this video was helpful, be sure to hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and we'll see you guys on the next video.